My name's Rosie and I live in Dundee in Scotland. I really like art. I love creativity. I really love people as well. I love spending time with people, so often I'd meet with friends in a coffee shop or that kind of thing. I work for a cater-hire company. Basically I do admin and receptionist kind of jobs. I'm married, so I have my own family. So basically I think my story began of having depression anyway, probably started at the end of high school, where I was doing my A-levels and I'd always been a high achiever and I was continuing to fly, really. But I think just the amount of pressure and the high expectations that I had of myself just became probably just too much. I think one of probably the biggest things is like having a fear of failure and not being able to achieve, even when you are achieving, and it's still that kind of fear that's like deep. It's like a deeper fear. And I just remember like everything was amazing. Like I was a head girl, I had like loads of friends, very popular. I wasn't like part of like that crowd, but like I was just fine, but kind of behind the scenes, like I would be breaking down, you know, in my in the head teacher's office and like that kind of thing, and just realizing that actually I probably just couldn't cope with that pressure. One of my many symptoms would be just that feeling of tiredness. I get really, really tired really quickly. I don't actually have an awful lot of energy. And so the product of that is then I probably sleep a lot. So I'm so happy. The happiest thing I can do is like go for a nap and just like curl up in bed, and I don't have to worry about anything. I don't even have to like think about anything. I just go to sleep. And at the same time as that being like something that I really like, it actually kind of scares me as well, because it kind of highlights the fact that like I don't want to cope with life. When I'm feeling really down, I'm really self-critical and self-loathing maybe, or just self-hating. I can't think positively at all, so everything I do is negative. Everything someone says is negative, and even if it is a positive thing, I'll turn it around and I'll say, well, you don't believe that. Low self-esteem, I guess I just think that I can't do anything. Like, for example, with my art, like I just think, well, there's no point because I can't do it. Yeah, so then it stops me from doing the things that I really enjoy and that I really like doing. Like if I'm in a stressful situation, I'm probably more prone to going down. So if, for example, if there's a big change, so like a couple of days before my job, like I had a job interview down in Leicester, and I was so stressed. Not stressed, but I couldn't quite cope with the fact that I was, and it was like such a battle to think positively, such a battle to think I can do this. Yeah, so kind of big changes like that. I think I'm very much still on that healing journey. I feel like it's quite a long process of healing, and I don't know if I ever will be. Well, I just can't imagine being kind of whole in a way, because part of who I am now is probably defined by part of what I've experienced or this depression. But I think what's helped me really kind of heal in a way has been learning more about what it actually is. The fact that I've been able to share with others who've gone through really similar things. Yeah, the fact that it's kind of a recognized thing, like I take medication for it, and for me that's a really healthy thing, that it's a recognition that it's real. Because a lot of what when I struggle with it, it's a lot in my head, and it's really hard, because then it's as if it's not real, it's all kind of in the air, and so to actually kind of define it, learn more about it, talk about it, and just be real about it has kind of helped a lot. So I'd want to encourage people to seek medical help, have good people around you, talk to people about it, because the reality is that more people struggle with it than you realize. Not to stop doing things that you enjoy, because for me that's one of the biggest things, and also just like I've lost a lot of confidence in what I thought I was good at, and so to keep doing those things that you enjoy, no matter if you're struggling with it. I don't know, I think I've felt quite abandoned by God. I think growing up in a Christian family, I've had a very rosy picture of Christianity, and I think maybe even the fact that I've had to deal with this depression has made God more real to me, because I can't rely on my family, I can't rely on my emotions, I can't rely on my thoughts anymore. And very often it's when I'm actually really in those bottom pits that actually God is there with me, because just because. I think there's just this sense that you're not alone. It's really hard to explain. I don't know. I think so. For example, one thing that's really helpful for me is like every morning when I drive to work, I always see this like one amazing view, and it's like there every single morning, and it's always amazing, and that like consistency, that like just beauty as well, just like I think just reminds me of God, and it reminds me that He's there, and it just helps me actually even just face the day. And it's during when I'm driving that I'll be praying, and I'll be praying out loud as well, so I look like that crazy woman talking to herself in the car, but I think for me it helps to vocalize it, and because I believe in God, and I know that He's listening, then that just gives me this like a surety that He's there. From when I'm reading this Bible, and from what I understand about who Jesus is that He came very much for the broken. And I feel like through this depression and through my journey, I feel like I am very broken. I'm not the perfect fixed person that I want to be. And yeah, it comforts me that Jesus came for those people like me. I feel like very much I'd love my life to model that in a way, because one of my passions is to walk alongside broken people, and I feel like actually I can do that in a small way because of the brokenness that I have in my own